don't know anything, get full marks, then think about playing cricket, or else forget it. I pay you, I give you home to live, so do what I say. Never ever dare to speak against me. And see, Morgan's son, he has scored all A grades in all the subject. But what about you? You scored only B grade, only 75%. Is that enough? When will you get a regular job? Will you be like this for your entire life, chasing your passion? You won't want to get settled in your life. And see, I won't accept a girl from other community to be my in-law. Why do Indian parents cause the same pain that they have been through during their childhood period to their own child? Why are they considering the society's acceptance as more important than their own peace, and also implementing the same in their child's heart and mind? You are worthless. You are never going to be accepted by us or by the society. Don't you dare damage our name. You can go anywhere, but don't come in front of us. If you want to live with us, obey what we say, or marry which girl we want you to get married to, go to the job which we prefer, like engineer, doctor, or CA, but never ever be any other unprofessional jobs you choose that is against our society, and society will not accept us. What people will think about us, they don't care about what we think about ourselves, but they care more about what people will think about them. Emotional manipulation. If you speak up, it is disobedient and disrespectful. They use guilt tripping and blackmailing against you. For such one example is, if there is a logical information that is already available in a website, and a daughter is just discussing that to their parents, and the father is distracting that and saying things like, no, I'm not going to accept that, there is something different, where he is thinking it is in a traditional way, but the daughter is telling it in a logical and proven technique way. But the father is not ready to accept that logical thinking, but he is only sticking to his traditional thinking. What he will say, things like, whenever a child is going to disobey their parents, that child's life is not going to look good. So child should obey the parent. What the hell is obey the parent if the information is logical and proven, and you are sticking with the old idea? I'm not telling that we should not obey the elders, but if you are not accepting the one that is already proven, what kind of mind you are in? We sacrifice this much for you, this is how you pay back to us. Marry the boy who I say, and never ever bring disrespect to our family's pride and honor. Be a good girl, be a good boy, and follow the society. Go to 9 to 5 job, come back, and have a life, have a kid within 25 26, settle down, and have another kid within 28 29, and make the child grow, do the same thing that we did to you. The repeat generation after generation after generation. There is emotional manipulation. So if you do these things what we say, then only we will support you, then only we can love you. This love is conditional, this love is transactional, that no one is ready to talk about. Many of the Indian parents' love is transactional and conditional, and only when you obey their order you will receive that love. Asking questions. Indian parenting is oppressive and controlling. Whenever you ask any simple question, you will be told like, you are stupid, why are you constantly asking questions as a child? And when you ask question as an adult, I cannot stand you, I'm having headache, don't you dare talk to me hereafter when you are going to talk about this particular topic, if they are not interested in that topic. For example, let's say that all the Indian parents who are born in 1970s are still thinking that this cell phone is only ruining our time, only we are just going through all the Instagram feed every now and then, wasting our time. But they are literally not knowing that all the AI technologies are in the phone. They are not ready to accept that. So their traditional belief is restricting them from seeing what is reality and what is there in front of them. Legacy and social status. What people think about us if we give double degree to our girl child and single degree to our boy child? What will people think that if we involve a boy in the household chores? What will people think that our daughter if do not know any of the household chores? What will people think that if I do not get my daughter married before her age 25? What will people think that if my son is not having child before 30? What will people think that our both son and daughter-in-law is not settling down before 35, not having their own house? What if people think that we are both our son and the daughter-in-law is not having two kids? What will people think that if my granddaughter or if my son or my daughter, if I am not going to get them in the CBSE or ICSE? What will people think if I put them in the government school? What will people think that if I wear only 400 500 rupees saree? Or else what will people think that if I am not giving any branded items to my children? All those things, what will people think? What will people think about my social status? What will people think about the legacy that my family has given me? And what will happen to my honor if I am going to suppose all this, if I show my individuality that is not accepted by the society? So I will not allow my son or my daughter to show their own individuality. Whenever there is a elder in the group, they should tone down their voice. They should not tell their opinion. They should accept what that elder person is telling to them. If the elder person is a narcissistic bully, accept, calm down your voice, sacrifice on your side, because that person is an elder. Don't raise your voice, don't show your individuality. You are a rebellion, you are a rebellious child, you are a rude person, no? So individuality is not a sign of growth. Sacrificing yourself is a sign of growth. Comparison and career options for Indian parents. What they do, when do this comparison begin in Indian parenting? It begins at the age of say 5 to 6. Whenever the child is at standard 2 or 3, and when the child scores mark like B grade, even B grade is not enough to suffice them. So the child should get more marks, or else the child is seen as a disposable waste material for most of the Indian parents from the age of 6 or 7 itself. Why are they doing that? They are seeing their child to be involved more academically. They are academically oriented, career oriented Indian parents, and that is why from the age of 6 or 7 you can hear statements from the Indian parents stating things like, I'm going to make my son an IAS officer, I'm going to make my daughter a doctor, I'm going to make my son an engineer, I'm going to make my son a CA, and I'm going to make my son a police officer, I'm going to make my daughter a teacher. I think only 5 to 6 or 7 jobs mostly. These are the things that Indian parents tell to their neighbors, to their relatives when their child is born or when their child is still in their grown up stage. So, and also because of this, only 83% of the students, Indian students, only know 7 career options to them, especially doctors and MBBS and engineers are topping the scale. So why do they do this? If their son or daughter get into the age of 20, they will say things like get into IIT, not 20, maybe 18 or 19. They'll tell it, get into IIT. Even if you are not going to get into the doctor at the age of 18, what you do? Reappear for NEET, again reappear for IAS examination, reappear until you win. So what if they lose? They are not thinking in that position. So for example, only certain attempts are there for the IAS, and if they lose that, they are going to lose the job in the government sector, and also they are going to lose the job in the private sector. There all the years that they bear inculcating in for the government job is in a pain. After independence, India was still in the phase of underdeveloped country, and during 1950s, due to the high mortality rate, doctors who saved the lives of many people who were seen as a god by people. And also in 1990s, with modern industrialized India, the demand for becoming an engineering grew, and in the late 2000s demand for becoming an MPA graduate grew, and in 2000s computer engineering became a styles option for many, and followed by 2010 BA graduates, managements in the BBA sectors grow, and current Indian parents who were brought up during 1970s or only knowing this options. So the question is, why Indian students, 93% of the Indian students only knew the 7 career option? That is not the question. Why Indian parents only knew 7 career options? Because many students or many children are not ready to show their individuality. I don't know why they are not having that courage to show that to their own parents. Even they are your parents, they are controlling or demanding or respecting or whatever it is. At the end of the day, it is your life, you should live your life. So why you are thinking from the brain of your parent? Your parent only knows 7 career option, and why you are also knowing only 7 career options in this technological era? Don't you know how to serve? Don't you know how to do your own job, how to get your own passionate career job? Let me tell you, there are other career options than medical and engineering. Say, for example, you can become an environmental scientist, data analyst, science communicator, for forensic science department analyst, research analyst, writer, scientific teacher. 21 highest paying non-medical jobs. See, a judge, nuclear engineer, risk manager, statistician, financial manager, developer, economist, data scientist, CEO, project manager, corporate lawyer, patent attorney, enterprise architect. Best courses other than engineering and medicine: Bachelor of Science BSc course, integrated law courses, Bachelor of Architect, teaching course, fashion design courses including textile design, product design, furniture and interior design courses, Bachelor of Pharmacy, marine field courses, aviation course, diploma course, Bachelor of Management Studies, Bachelor of Hotel Management, horticulture, forestry, chemical, electronic, communication, management, nautical science. Reality of academics: 64% of Indian parents take debt and loan just to provide university college degree to their students. But do they really need to go beyond secondary school? Like after 12th, should they really need to do all those college degree? They should first, in the first basic manner, they should understand their potential as a parent. Or else, if why should you waste such lifelong investment in debt and loan? If your child's potential is analyzed by you, then you know that this person is eligible for this person can hold 2 to 3 degree, this person can pass IAS examination, this person can do more than our potential. So you need to take notes on these things, right? And if you can't do these things, there are certain academic activity that they can do. So please go and involve your student there, not in the quota learning politics, like my student my I mean my children should get enrolled in courses like JEE, NEET, IAS coaching centers for 6-7 years. I can do all the debt and loans, but don't go beyond what is there. It is the thing in blaming the academic professionals or the coaching institutes in the suicides of quota individuals. It is also the blame is on the parents. Without knowing your own child's potential, why are you involving them in such activity? Change in job markets: these Indian parents having only 7 career options state things like, do not leave your job without finding the another job, and get ready to sacrifice your sleep, your mental health, just to get settled down in the society, to be accepted by the society. So what they are trying to say is, do not try to risk your youth, do not try to take any risk, do not take any risk. Try following the same path that we have traveled, that our society had traveled. So this thing, the path that everyone else already traveled, is a safest bet, which means that you're not taking any risk. Not taking any risk is a risk itself, is a scarcity mindset which is not known by the Indian parents. So there are many opportunities that are lying in the need segment, but the Indian parents are not ready to allow their Indian children to pursue that path, even if they are showing their individuality. Tell things like, I will not accept you, the society will not accept you, the emotional blackmailing. That is enough for many Indian students to stop there and live an ordinary life. That is what we are here for. Indian parents communication: how do they communicate with their own children first? other than talking about their academics during the age of 6 to say 21, they won't talk anything other than that during this time period. And after 21, for girls especially, they will talk about marriage. They will tell things like, this is not your home anymore, take care of your husband. And for a boy, it will be like after the age of 22, go and get a job, and do not go beyond your passion. Stop making such stupid things, or else we will not support you. And also, they will not discuss about periods, sex, mental health, nothing. They will never discuss about it with you. But whenever you attain that time period of 21 or 22, they will simply marry you to the other person without asking like your consent in the first place for many people, or else without knowing what is your want and need. Still, the Indian daughters who are thriving for success in their life, they want much more to explore, but they won't ask for such permissions. They won't like educate or get aware about the sexual society or mental health society. And if for example, if a girl child is, for example, a girl child is raped, what will they do? They will try to see that as a girl is impure. So these are the things that the communication should come from the parents other than the academics. That is what I find very interesting about, because this is the only one topic that they tell to their Indian students: study, 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 study. Other than that, what else do they ask? They have nothing to discuss. That's very strange, and that needs to change. Personal space in India, most of the persons are not going to get their own personal space. If for example you are going to lock your room for say 10 minutes or 15 minutes, immediately your mom or dad will say things like, why are you locking your door, and who are you talking to for more than half an hour now, and do not lock the door when everyone is here. What do you mean by do not lock the door when everyone is here? So no, in basic manner, Indian parents are thinking like, you do not need a personal space, you do not need one particular isolated room. Which means that, for example, some people will consider this as no, I think she or he is suffering from some mental health issue. They are not talking to me. They are going into the room, locking the room. I think they are doing something very strangely. What the hell is that? So one should have some personal privacy, to detach from the society, to think clearly, to think calmly, all such things. So it is in the hands of the Indian children to tell their parents that do not knock the door from 2 to 4 p.m. This is my personal space. Do not invade in this personal space. Even though you are my parent, I am your children, that doesn't mean that you have authority over me. No one should have that entitlement, even from the children's side or from the parent side. So when the entitlement starts, there comes the fight, there comes the resentment, there comes the rebellion. Is child a parent possession? So simply by giving birth to a child, which means that you can control the child's life entirely simply by providing the food and shelter, or those luxury item or legally abided necessity. And is a child a parent's extension, which means that I eat at 7 o'clock, my child should also eat at 7 o'clock. I sleep at 10 o'clock, my child should also sleep at 10 o'clock. I wake up at 9 o'clock morning, which means that I'm very sorry, I wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, so my child should also wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Why should the child wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning? But if, for example, it is an adult grown up women or a man, they have their own rights to do things like, if they have the night shift, they only can wake up during 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock, and that is according to their feasibility and need, not according to what you instruct. Family is home, and home is peace. We all want peace, but when either party is not going to set a clear boundary, then there is going to be abuse and resentment growing on both the side. Which also means that Indian parents consider their child as their center goal of their life, which means that once their child enters at the age of 20, 21, get the job, enter into other state or other country, leave the home, they will they are facing the identity crisis. They are seeing their child as their own extension, now thinking that now my son is gone, now my daughter is gone, what am I going to do now? Especially this center goal is only for a son more. So if I'm going, because they are easily ready to sacrifice their daughter in the name of marriage. They care more about their son. Still that son based honor society is prevailing in India. This video is nothing personal. I am not making this video to pinpoint all those negative tasks that are done by the Indian parents, but I want to tell you things like let them dwell in this world very freely, independently, and freedom is of the utmost important human right that anyone can give, and that is what I am asking to give to your own child. Give them the freedom, and do not push them very tightly. Let them fly freely. And if they have seen you suffer, seen you working hard for shaping their future, remember this: they will not do anything damaging.